Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode in our TOEFL 2026 preparation series. In today's lesson and a few more lessons this week, we are going to talk about the writing section of TOEFL, and we're going to discuss how to approach each part and what are the do's and don'ts that you need to consider when it comes to dealing with the writing in TOEFL. The writing section of TOEFL has changed a lot. I remember back in the day, we had to write like two essays. One would be an integrated one and one would be an independent one. But we have come a long way from those days. And now we have, as you see on the screen, we have three types of questions, three categories of questions, and 12 questions. So there are 12 pieces of writing you need to do, but don't worry about the number because there are more items, but they're shorter and more manageable. So if you ask me, I prefer it this way because it tests the students under different circumstances rather than just focusing on the essay. So let's start with quick overview of the task types. We have build a sentence. I told you this was grammar / writing / vocabulary kind of lesson, which focuses very deeply on the grammar side of things. And you will be given a sentence where part of it is missing, and then that missing part is given to you in a scrambled form, and then you have to put them together and form this sentence. Then you have to write an email, and finally you need to write your reaction to an academic discussion or contribution to an academic discussion, which is a very short and extracted version of an essay. Okay, let's talk about build a sentence. As you see on the screen, they give you a couple of sentences and then a bunch of words where you have to use these words to complete the gaps. I will tell you how to approach this part. But before we talk about it, remember, this part checks your grammar and checks your knowledge of and your ability to build sentences. If you have problem with building sentences, there is an app that allows you to exercise building sentences at different levels. I will put a link in the description. Please download it and practice that if you have a lot of problems. This is a great way to practice your knowledge. But let's take a look at this. Let's zoom in a bit. So how to approach this is easy. Well, we have a question and then we have a sentence with part of it missing, and then you have to put these together and to find the sentence. Before you do this, read the question and the sentence together to get an idea of what the sentence is about. This will help you improve your accuracy. What was the highlight of your trip? So remember, the verbs are very important. The verbs and nouns are very important because they will help you use them as references into the next sentence. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gaps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 words or phrases. So it definitely shows us that one of them is extra. And those of you who are at an advanced level, I mean, you are level C1 and C2, this part should be very easy for you. You can just jump right into it, put your sentence together, read it a couple of times, and move things around when necessary. If you're not an advanced student, let's say you are at a level A2, B1, B2, to help you improve your accuracy, I usually ask my students to use this technique of limiting the number of options. So we have a lot of options, 6 gaps, 7 words. It's very hard to figure things out, right? What I usually recommend people to do is to try to build the sentence piece by piece so that you end up with a more accurate sentence. Part of it is easy. Look, we have the here. Okay, so definitely after this, I need a noun. Okay, so when I look at these words, I see that tour guides, and old city are the only possible nouns. And based on the fact that I have fantastic here, so this fantastic, it usually is probably used to describe the old city. So I'm going to keep that for this. So I'm going to use tour guides here. Again, I'm not going to tell you the answer. The answers are in the description. I just want you to play with this a little bit. And then when I put tour guides here, so the tour guides, then I need a verb for tour guides. Tour guides is plural, so I cannot use was. All right, so I either have to use were or this one. As I'm putting these sentences, I realize that it's talking about tour guides who did something for me. So the tour guides who showed us around what? Old city. Old city, we need the. Around the old city were fantastic. So this way, you can actually put things together and form your final sentence. Again, I'm not going to tell you the answer, the final answer. You can already guess that, but this is a way for you to do that, to make sure that you are 100% accurate. Read it once or twice, make sure the sentence sounds natural. If it doesn't, something is wrong. Try to make changes. Check it with the answer key, come back, go to the next question. Same approach. For example, here I have be. So after be, I probably need an adjective. I look at here, I see that the only adjective that I can use, I see here I don't have an adjective, so probably an ing form of the verb. Okay, I can use this one here. I have if here. If usually goes, we usually use if at the beginning of the sentence or our beginning of our next clause. Okay, this is our like kind of second clause, because after that we need a sentence. If I use it here, it doesn't make sense because it's a question. So I need to use it here. All right, so if I use if she will be moving to, after to, I need a place, so different department. This is how we can put things together. This is a question, so definitely I need to form a question, and I have do here, and it's most likely the beginning of my sentence. So this is a perfect way for you to kind of limit your options and then fill the gaps with words that are left. When you're done, read it again. Make sure that make sure that all the words match with what comes before and after, and the sentence sounds naturally. And then check the answer key and see how many mistakes you have and try to work around that. Remember, put a link to the description of an app which helps you practice building sentences on a daily basis, and it helps you improve your knowledge for this part. So remember, practice is key, everybody, okay? Things we're talking about, you cannot learn all of this in just one go. You need to practice again and again and again, and until you're fully comfortable of the approach that I tell you, and you can use it in your practices. So if you need more questions, if you have more questions, don't forget to ask me in the comment section. We will talk about emails and the discussion, reacting to the discussion in the following lessons. Stay tuned. I try to put 2 to 3 lessons on a weekly basis. Share this video with your friends who are preparing for TOEFL. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and just comment anything if you have any questions, if you have any comments about this video, or if you have any questions about improving your English or anything related to TOEFL or other exams, you can always ask me in the comment section, and I'll see you soon.